What's up, guys? It's been a while. You guys were probably wondering where I've been. Well, I've been doing other stuff and playing other games. I was thinking of making a full Deadlock video, but I'm actually just negative FPS gaming. It's actually slideshow right now. There's not even like abilities being used right now. It's so bro, it is so I'm alive?
Nothing like a good 80-second death timer.
I can't tell what the is going on, man. And then after that, I was thinking of making a Risk of Rain 2 DLC video, and then... What? I don't know what's happening. Is the game dying? Hello?
Yeah, the game is dying.
What? So we need to
Oh
find the
my
altar, though.
I just did like half my. Oh, yo.
Oh
what
my
the
god, the
fuck?
game's dying.
What is
I
happening?
think Scavenger just spawned.
Bro.
Aw.
Huh?
What's the play?
Hmm?
What's the play?
Plan, so I think we're gonna have to shut her down. Give it up. He is stuck though.
And we'll see turn 30 days what happens, I guess.
You gonna hit him?
And that brings me to here. I'm finally making it a TFT video. Yay! This is where all my time went during my time not uploading. I was playing TFT. I swear I don't have an addiction. Now, for the longest time, I didn't know how to make a good TFT video, as I think the game is pretty boring to watch or the content wouldn't be long enough. But then I figured it out. I tracked 100 how I giga climbed with this one comp. It's probably on the thumbnail, but the comp that I'm talking about is Shapeshifter Incanter Reroll, with the main star of the show being the hottie, Cassiopeia. I played this comp from D4 all the way to GM. I was actually Giga Thanos when I was locked in. Also, if you noticed, GM was pretty low to get during this screenshot, and that's because this video was supposed to have been made a while ago, but I got lazy. I'ma just keep it real. Like, it was supposed to be made like a couple of patches ago, so there might be some outdated information in this video. Now, it's important to understand that this isn't the only comp that I played during my run. I did have the occasional hero augments as they were giga broken on the patch I was climbing. Listen, I'm a hard forcer, not a dumbass. Also during my climb, there is an upcoming Cassiopeia rework. When I heard about this, I was devastated. This news was my 9/11, but I did have a little cope, thinking that overall it should be a buff. If you guys were unaware, previously, Cassiopeia's spell was that she will empower all her auto attacks for the next 6 seconds, meaning double Rage Blade was the best, as you want to cram in as many auto attacks as you can within that time. The rework changed it to only empower her next 3 autos, but to compensate, her mana to cast was lowered, and the more important change, they removed the cast time, as before, she had a 0.3 second cast time, making it feel pretty bad at high attack speed, but they probably thought that these changes would make her too OP, so they ended up lowering her attack speed. The idea of this rework was still to keep attack speed bis on her, but slightly open up options for standard AP items on her. Now, where does that bring us today? It literally changed nothing, at least for Cassiopeia. Same comp, same items, double Rage Blade plus Shiv. You probably think her power level staying the same is good, you know? Just force the comp for another million LP GG rank 1. The problem with this is that even though her power level stayed the same, other things got changed, shifting the meta, and let me tell you, the meta was not very cast friendly. The meta was kinda boring in my opinion. It was just pray you get an emblem, then let's say Mortdog is not on your side and you didn't get an emblem, you most likely just default into a Karma comp or played Fairy. But before I talk about Karma, I just need to say something. During one of my TFT sessions, I had to play against 10 Portal 3 times. Shocker, they won the lobby. The crazy part is that all of these people hit it on level 9, but that's not even the best part. This happened in a row. Yes, 3 games in a row, my fate was in Mortdog's hands to dodge these disgusting ass creatures. Please, I can't take it anymore. Nuke this portal trait into the ground, I'm begging you. I can't believe how insanely strong +1 portal has been this entire set. Not to mention how easy it is to play. Back to Karma. Karma and Cassio are pretty similar in that they are both AP carries, trying to ramp up the entire fight. The thing is, Karma comps are a lot easier to play, a lot easier to hit, and a lot more flexible. So, in these Karma matchups, you're more than likely going to lose. Not to mention, the vertical chrono version of Karma just makes me want to end it all. By the time Cassio attacks 5 times, Karma already casted 20 times, deleting your board. I don't get it. I mean, at the time, chrono did need a buff, but like buffing a board-wide stun to take effect quicker, and then buffing it to last longer, just isn't fun to play against. I know, crazy concept. Then there was Callista, a champion who also wanted double Rage Blade. The fairy changes were a problem, alongside some Rakan buffs. With all this, a 5 fairy board was unbeatable. The best part about this was that the board was insanely stable on just Callista 1 and Rakan 1. They were among the best duos of all time, you know, Shaq and Kobe, Diddy and Baby Oil. So with all this in mind, when playing Cassio, it might just be better to itemize Syndra, as if you have double Rage Blade, why not just play Callista 1 and win the lobby? Now that was probably the best idea last patch, but with the new Syndra buffs, it's probably back to itemizing Syndra first. Anyways, you guys were probably wondering how to play this comp, so let's hop into that. You want to play around early shapeshifters and Ziggs as an item holder for Cass, playing for a lose streak into first pick prio on Carousel, only to see that the bow spawned on the enemy side and them taking it, making your only option a rod. But to be honest, I've played this comp from worse spots, not getting a bow until Wolves. On level 6, you're looking for this board and usually rolling some gold to at least hit Cass or Syndra 2, with 1 to 2 frontliners upgraded. After you're done 3-starring Cass and Syndra, you can push levels to level 8, hopefully by early stage 5. Then you're trying to add 6 Shapeshifter in, and your board should look something like this, with Syndra being more in the middle to prevent Tahm Kench stunning both your carries for a century. I touched upon items a little, but to go more in depth, you should really lose streak into first pick to have a chance of getting a bow, because you sure as hell aren't getting it as last pick. Double Rage Blade with Shiv is Cassio's bread and butter. Syndra wants a mana item and either Morello's or red buff, but I don't know where you're printing all these bows if you're going red buff. For frontline, the most important item is Redemption, big HP bars, big heals. Other than that, most tank items work, but I really like Gargoyles and Warmogs if given the choice. Also, preferably tank items on Nico, but Swain works if you hit him first. Then for the unwanted crit gloves, just make TG and put it on Shyvana. And if you didn't hit 3-star, move it on to Briar late game, or you can just pray to Mortdog and reforge the crit gloves into something else. Then to talk about augments, it's usually prioing item augments then whatever. As you're re-rolling for a lot of 3-stars, you want them to be itemized. Starting with silver tier, good ones are over encumbered, Thin Pack, AFK, and featherweights. Then if you're feeling really lucky, you can take Pandora's Bench. For me, this augment is extremely hit or miss. When I use it, I can't even get a 2-star cast, resulting in me questioning if I ever want to play another game after this. Meanwhile, I have opponents hitting 3-star 4 costs on stage 5 doing victory laps around me. Gold tier augments, the best ones are Big Gain, Learning to Spell, and Eternal Growth. After that, I think there's a big gap between other gold augments, but ones that give items or econ are good, along with your usual support golem. Depending on your situation, picking up a shapeshifter emblem isn't a bad idea, because this allows you to fit 6 shapeshifter in on 7, with the emblem being on Syndra. In some cases, this is really good, as now you can slow roll for Nico and Swain 3, which are massive upgrades. Prismatic augments, this is where the options really open up, with things such as Giant and Mighty, the Movable Object, Prismatic Ticket, Support Golem, and Blinding Speed, which is insanely good, as it gives a Rage Blade anti-heal for Syndra, plus an extra bow. Many of you may be wondering about anger issues, as it just mega buffs Rage Blade, making you think that this is crazy for Cass. But the problem is, you're turning every item you have into a Rage Blade, meaning no tank items, no anti-heal items, and no shred items. A big no-no. However, I did have a really good game with it, as I decided to ditch Syndra for Smolder Duo Carry, allowing me to at least get anti-heal due to Dragon these nuts. With that said, the trade-off usually isn't worth it, as you probably have a Rage Blade already built on Cass, along with other items on other units, I would only take this in really desperate situations, such as no Rageblade or Bow on 4-2, but at that point, what are you doing playing this reroll? Which brings me to my major point. What are you doing playing Shapeshifter Incanter reroll with Cassio carry? A lot of things change since this comp's peak. To pull this comp off, you need a lot of things to go right. As I mentioned before, Syndra did get a pretty decent buff, so maybe the spirit of this comp can still live on with her as the main carry, with Cassio being there just to proc Shiv. But overall, the comp has been on a decline, but maybe some random Chinese challenger player discovers a variant of this comp that is secretly broken. That's the end of the video. Maybe I'll get back into the habit of uploading on a slightly regular basis and streaming, but who knows.